Welcome to this video on fiber optic communications. In this video, we will be discussing about SDM, that is Space Division Multiplexing. Wavelength Division Multiplexing or WDM has been extensively used over the past decades to tap the large capacity available in an optical fiber. But due to Shannon nonlinear limit, there is a capacity crunch and the capacity cannot be improved in a WDM system. Therefore, SDM is a viable solution that has been used over the years to tap the capacity available in a fiber. First, let us have a quick review of the basic concept we have seen in videos 1.2 and 1.3, that is on overview and properties of fiber. The major advantages of an optical fiber that have made it popular for telecommunication applications are the long distance transmission and large information capacity. Because of the low attenuation in optical fiber, data could be transmitted over long distances. And also because of the large bandwidth available, large information capacity could be transmitted. The basic structure of a fiber is a core of high refractive index surrounded by a cladding of slightly lesser refractive index, and the light propagates in the fiber by total internal reflection. And the basic structures of an optical fiber are single mode step index fiber, where one mode propagates along the core of the fiber, and multi-mode fibers, step index and graded index. The graded index fiber, which is popularly used with multiple modes, and each mode propagates along a different path. We also have photonic crystal fibers, where the cladding and sometimes the core also have holes running along the fiber. And the two types are index guiding fibers and the photonic band gap fiber. In the index guiding fiber, the core has a higher refractive index surrounded by cladding which have air holes. In the photonic band gap fiber, the core itself is hollow, surrounded by cladding with air holes. And the light is guided in this fiber in the hollow core by the principle of photonic band gap energy. And the various methods to exploit or tap the large bandwidth in an optical fiber. The five major physical properties that are available are time, quadrature, frequency, polarization, and space. In time domain, electronic time division multiplexing and optical time division multiplexing, where the data rates are increased greatly. And in quadrature method, the modulation, quadrature amplitude modulation, quadrature phase shift keying, coherent methods, all this is enabled improvement in spectral efficiency and the capacity. Frequency domain, where wavelength division multiplexing, both coarse and dense wavelength multiplexing, where number of wavelengths are added to the fiber and each wavelength carries data at different rates, and the total capacity of the fiber is aggregate of the individual wavelength capacity, and this improves the capacity of the fiber greatly. And polarization division multiplexing could be carried out, and X and Y polarization and twofold increase in the data rate. And space division multiplexing is one area which has not been tapped until recent years. And here multi-code fibers and multi-mode fibers could be used to improve the capacity of the fiber. And this video we will be discussing mainly on the space division multiplexing. Okay, now let us look at the capacity growth in an optical fiber system, or how it has evolved over the years. During the initial years, the capacity of the fiber was limited by the transceivers regeneration rates. And later in around 1989, when WDM systems were invented, even then the data rates were limited due to the optoelectronic conversions that were required. And in 1990, where WDM systems, with the invention of EDFA and management of fiber nonlinearities, all this changed the scenario, and there was a phenomenal growth in the capacity of an optical fiber. Later on, optical networking technology and dispersion management further improved the data rates. But so far, to improve the capacity of a fiber, the physical device development was the major focus. But later on, the focus went to the communication engineering side of it. And with advanced modulation schemes such as QPSK, QAM, and coherent detection, so various coherent technologies and advanced DSPs at the receiver end, and improved forward error correction. So all this enabled an improvement of the capacity of a fiber, but then due to nonlinear effects, capacity crunch occurred, and space division multiplexing is a technology that is being looked into for tapping on the capacity of a fiber. The capacity of an optical fiber did not follow a linear Shannon limit. There was a nonlinear Shannon limits roll off at higher power levels. At high powers, nonlinear effect comes into picture, especially four-wave mixing, wherein three wavelengths they combine to produce a fourth wavelength, and if this wavelength falls within the spectrum of the WDM system, affects the particular channel. So in addition to mitigation of the signal strength of the three channels, a fourth channel is affected due to interference, and this limits the capacity of an optical fiber, and this has resulted in a capacity crunch in single mode fibers. There has been a large increase in traffic volume over the years, and the demand still continues. And also the type of traffic is also changing in the network. For example, to change to small office, home office, e-commerce, e-learning, video streaming, video games, and various technologies such as IoT, 5G, cloud computing, and big data, and all this has caused more traffic to be generated and also the traffic patterns to be changed. So there's a huge demand on the basic fiber to provide more capacity. So space division multiplexing is a viable solution that is being tapped to improve the capacity of an optical fiber. So SDM is nothing but space division multiplexing. Here multiple spatial channels are utilized to increase the capacity of a fiber. So there is one method where multiple fibers, individual fibers can be laid. Then there are multi-core fibers where multiple cores can be fabricated on a single cladding. And then the multi-mode fibers where in a single core, multiple modes can be transmitted, and each of these modes is a spatial mode. The different types of SDMs or spatial division multiplexing is first the conventional single mode fibers bundled together, but this occupies more space and volume and not a viable solution. And it will also be expensive to lay more fibers as the capacity of the fiber gets exhausted. Then multi-core fibers, where multiple cores are fabricated on a single fiber. It could be coupled or uncoupled fibers, and up to 19 cores have been fabricated in a single fiber for long haul applications, and more cores in case of short haul applications. And multimode fibers where multiple modes are transmitted in a fiber, and each of these modes provides a spatial mode. And few mode fibers where instead of having large number of modes, few modes are transmitted. And few mode fiber with multi-core fiber, a combination of the two is seen as a viable solution to improve the capacity of a fiber. Let us look into detail into each of the conventional single mode fiber. Multi-core fiber, multiple cores are fabricated in a single cladding, and these cores, each of these cores can carry WDM signals, and we have coupled and uncoupled multi-core fibers. In the case of coupled multi-core fiber, the signal from one core gets coupled into the other, causing crosstalks, therefore which is not desirable. So the distance between the cores to be improved so that we have uncoupled multi-core fibers. But the disadvantage of this is this increases the core size and would tend to cause a fiber to be easily broken. Therefore, weakly coupled multi-core fibers is a viable solution. But the disadvantages are that multi-core fibers are difficult to fabricate since multiple cores should be fabricated in a single cladding, and also amplifiers have to amplify signal over multiple spatial wavelengths, and they should have uniform amplification factor, which is difficult. And coupling and fusing is difficult, so the fibers, the rotational symmetry should be maintained so that the cores match. So this coupling is difficult. And switching can be done in the fiber using core in addition to the wavelength switching that is possible. So this is a solution. In multi-mode fibers, multiple modes are transmitted over a single fiber. These are easy to fabricate and the existing infrastructure can be used, and fusing and splicing is easier in this case. But special mode multiplexers are needed, and mode coupling between the adjacent modes causes crosstalk which needs to be taken care of. So the receiver complexity increases. Few mode fibers, here it has a single core in a cladding and supports few spatial modes compared to a multimode fiber. Few mode fiber with multi-core fiber is a combination which provides a promising solution. So here less complex DSP receivers can be used to recover the signals. Space division multiplexing can be used in combination with WDM system to improve the scalability of the wavelength. So this figure shows the WDM SDM matrix. Considering the example on the right, an optical fiber with multiple cores. So each of the core multiple wavelengths are being transmitted. The same applies good for a single core multimode fibers also. Each mode could carry a number of wavelengths. So the horizontal rows, they represent the wavelength multiplexing within a system, and the vertical column represents the multiple spatial paths. So the horizontal rows over there indicate the number of wavelengths being transmitted on one spatial path, and the column represents the same carrier frequency on multiple spatial paths. Earlier, data from multiple IP cores, they were aggregated and transmitted over a single wavelength. But these days, the volume of data generated by the applications is so large that multiple wavelengths are required to transport the data from a single core. This is inverse multiplexing. We look at to the principle of optical superchannels. Superchannels, here optical carriers are co-generated, co-propagated and co-detected. So the first diagram shows wavelengths being routed along different paths, but here super channels, a wave band is routed along a single path. They are co-generated, co-propagated and co-detected. The major advantage of this is that flexible grid optical switches are possible. So this allows the channels to be closely spaced and there is no filtering penalty associated with them, and they are not filtered separately. So this improves the spectral efficiency of the system. The optical superchannels, they can be either the spectral superchannel, spatial or hybrid channels. So in spectral superchannel, the logical interface is made out of unit cells on a common path but different wavelengths. So this would make a spectral superchannel. Whereas spatial superchannel, it has a common wavelength but along different paths, different parallel paths. And hybrid superchannel is a mixture of both. So the switching and routing at the intermediate nodes for these superchannels would be different. There is quite a number of research going on in implementation of the WDM SDM system, and the switching technology is one of the important factors to be considered. Intelligent switching is required for multi-channel switching and routing to be taken place. In this example, multi-core fibers are considered and the bypass core, where the core to core connection is carried out from source to destination without any wavelength switching at the intermediate nodes. The routing and the topology design should be carefully done such that the cores that can be switched directly or bypass cores can be identified and taken up, so that only few cores would require wavelengths to be added or dropped at intermediate nodes. This will reduce the load on the reconfigurable optical add-drop multiplexers and the optical cross connects in the network. Basic node structure is shown where two fibers, multiple cores. Some of the cores are directly connected and only some of them undergo the wavelength switching operation. This design of topology is an important parameter. So that switching technology needs to be taken care of. In this video, we have seen the growth or evolution of a capacity of an optical fiber system, the major technologies that were behind this evolving of the capacity of an optical fiber, and then we had seen how the capacity crunch has occurred because of nonlinear effects in an optical fiber, and the viable solution of SDM and the different types of space division multiplexing, and how WDM SDM can be a combination to provide a future solution. These are the references used. Thank you.